Let's go out to the Plains, man, because they had just the definition, textbook spring propaganda here from Jackson Arnold to Cam Coleman. Check out this clip. It checks all the boxes. You got Jackson Arnold making a confident throw down the sideline. Cam Coleman, non-contact jersey should be noted. Non-contact jersey. If you're a dude in the spring, you don't get touched. Big-time play. Celebration in the end zone. Looks like it's some kind of team period there. This checks all the boxes to me. Like I said a second ago, this is something we're all wanting to see that we didn't see a year ago. You didn't see Jackson Arnold play for Auburn a season ago. You saw him play at Auburn, but you didn't see him play for Auburn a season ago. I guess you saw him, on the sideline at the game against Oklahoma. The bottom line here is this is what you're hoping you're going to get more of here when the season gets rolling, all right? Doesn't give away too much. We all know that Cam Coleman's got a couple go routes in the playbook, right? We all understand that that's going to happen. This is also elite when it comes to the reaction from the team, all right? I'm taking a lot from little here. Looked like that was maybe to cap off a team period. Maybe it's one of the first competitive team periods they've had of the spring. I don't know. But seeing Jackson Arnold drop a dime, textbook stuff from the social team there. Now, textbook stuff from the social team there is what I was trying to say here. Too excited, a lot of words, we're getting juiced up. So I want to kind of take a lot from the little here because that clip is awesome for a number of reasons. But let's actually unpack some things that we can maybe tangibly take away from that clip. The first is, I think that if you're Auburn, in a microcosm, that play is kind of what you think Auburn football is going to live and die with, right? Because you're not questioning the defense. You're not hoping DJ Durkin's going to be able to have a good enough product on that side of the football. No, you feel good about that, right? Okay, so we check that box. The talent level, you have been told now multiple times, is where it needs to be. You're no longer trying to compensate for talent with scheme. Okay, so you check that box. Really, your question is, can Jackson Arnold get it to your playmakers? You love Cam Coleman. Eric Singleton, I'm sure we'll get some good spring propaganda around him here in the near future if the Auburn social team keeps delivering heaters. Can Jackson Arnold get it to your guys? I need Uber Eats kind of service from Jackson Arnold. Just get it to me. Get it at the front doorstep. I'll take care of the rest. I don't need Michelin star service here. Just get it to me. I'll do the rest with it. And that clip, man, he did it. That's all we need. And I'll say this too. You talk about Jackson Arnold in the context of his career. The question that I had for him and still have for him is, where's he at psychologically? Because he rebounded in a big way last year at Oklahoma, gets benched early. I can't imagine what that does to a kid's confidence. Gets called upon again later in the year. You beat Alabama. But, you transfer to a new place, it would make a lot of sense to have some internal doubts, some things you're working through psychologically. I don't know that to be the fact, but that's what I would assume, just given common sense here. That clip, though, you watch Jackson Arnold step back there, pull the trigger. There's no half stepping. There's no pump faking. There's no putting too much touch on it. Like confident throw down the sideline to his guy, just gunslinger, man. I loved that from him. I love that for him. That's what you want to see from him. All right, and I know we unpack a lot of the question marks around his psychology. We just did a second ago, but I don't know that we explore enough the other potential outcome from the Oklahoma situation for Jackson Arnold. Like, I think it's very fair to wonder, did that maybe harden him a little bit? That's something that maybe is the edge for Jackson Arnold? Because think about it this way, man. The worst thing that could have possibly happened to Jackson Arnold from a competitive perspective happened a year ago. All the hype, 5-star, the next guy at Oklahoma, all this. College game days in town, Herbie and Fowler on the call, big-time matchup against Tennessee. At home, you get benched. Can you imagine where he was at emotionally with that? The mental just strain that has to be on a kid with all the buzz that he had around him coming into the season, and you get benched on national TV? The worst thing happened. It all crumbled for him. I wonder if, as much as that messed with him, Jackson Arnold's still standing, still playing college football, still playing in the SEC, got a starting job. Like, the worst thing happened and he's still here. I wonder if there's a twisted part of him that great competitors have that maybe frees him a little bit. Maybe allows him to play with a little bit less, anxiety or a little bit less, worry about what's going to happen on that next play. The worst thing happened, and he's still here, and he's going to start, I would have to believe, here game one for Auburn if we're trusting the trend there. Also worth noting now, Deuce Knight had a great spring, so far at least, but the Auburn social team puts out that clip, something to nibble on if you're an Auburn fan. You say, okay, we like that. We like to see that. Now, Cam Coleman, the other part of that, the catch that he had there, like, it gets you excited. It's what you're fired up about. If you were to pick the most talented part probably of Auburn's entire football team, it undoubtedly would be that wide receiver room. The exciting part about this, though, for Auburn fans is you probably thought he had more of this in the tank a year ago. A lot of people, I think, probably look to Peyton Thorne, and whether it's right or wrong, assign some blame there. You felt like if you have a quarterback to get on the ball, he can do this a lot. Okay, well, you think you have a quarterback, 5-star talent in Jackson Arnold. Hugh Freeze thinks he has a quarterback. Otherwise, you wouldn't have gotten him from the portal. Okay, if you're an Auburn fan, you're saying this is what he can be. We saw this at times last year, saw this at the end of last year. But if he's able to just fully be, unleashed, he's going to be a problem for not just the SEC, but the rest of college football. Like, he's that good. He's that good. He's a guy that when he came out of high school was in the same breath as Jeremiah Smith for how ridiculous this wide receiver class is. So the bottom line here is Auburn should have the advantage every single game at perimeter when it comes to Singleton, when it comes to Coleman, the number of other receivers they have in that room. We could spend all day here. Like, they have what they needed on the outside. But to now have a guy at Jackson Arnold to capitalize on all of it, to maximize all of it, that's what gets you fired up, and for good reason. So good propaganda out of Auburn. Still has to happen in the game. Still have to see it consistently. But just a little appetizer, a little something to just get the juices flowing. We love that. We absolutely love that for the folks on the Plains. If you're watching too, make sure you're subscribed, Auburn fans. We appreciate y'all being dialed in.